Welcome everybody. It's Halloween, well, tomorrow. So I figured I'll put a treat on the channel for you. And what is that treat? We are in a mid-mod, of course, but we are in a Randy Parks mid-mod. There, let me just show you the outside first. If we go like this. I'll give you a scan of the street. Goes across the way. That is what Randy Parks is known for, is mid-century homes. He didn't do many of these mid-mods. This is where he started. So, this is my little treat for Halloween. Welcome everybody, my name is Alister, your host, the Modern Modernist. First off, the listing agent, Scott Kline, thank you. He's a fellow mid-modder. So it was very nice. He called me, said, hey, I've got a Randy Parks mid-mod coming up. I jumped at it because there's literally maybe a dozen of these built. So let's just go in, start right at it, the front door. So this house, I'm trying to be kind, Scott. There's a lot to undo, but nothing that's like structural as far as been undone that much. But first off, just would have been a solid front door. Someone's actually cut this in because this is actually a very original Randy Parks front door. The one thing about Randy Parks homes is incredibly well built. I mean, just solid. And when he went to mid-century homes, it was absolutely was in those. But these mid-mods that he built, I mean, there's maybe a dozen, if not just a little over. That's it. And they're hard to find. This is only the second one I've actually done on the channel. So that would have been, that wall would have been open. It's been closed off. This is typical Randy Parks mid-mods, 2-bed, 1-bath. And see these doors? There's always a closet right here. But same thing, see, this would have been solid. This is not, like you'll see in the kitchen too, it's kind of gone down a little bit down Shaker Lane, which a lot of people tend to do to mid-mods. And I don't understand why, because that was its own time period. So it would have been sort of, you know, sort of early 1900s, and even then very specific. So Pennsylvania, to be, it was sort of, that was Shaker. So it had nothing to do with the mid-mod movement. And I don't know why here in California especially, a lot of mid-mod owners tend to go Shaker. I see it, flippers do it all the time. I don't know why, they just do. But anyway, well, behind us is the living quarters. We'll get to that. But these are always 2 bedrooms. And just like the String Brothers, you always have these celestial windows. We're in the front of the house. So the 2 main bedrooms in any Randy Parks mid-mod are always to the front. And you always have, they're never a flat roof. You kind of, I guess you would call it a transitional roof because it's not quite flat, but it's not a full-on angle either. And yes, the bane of my existence, there's ceiling fans all over this house. I don't know, I'll get over it. And then the primary bedroom is always on the right, so slightly larger, but obviously no primary bath. They're all 1 bath only. And which we'll get into in this house because there is some room. There's a solution. And then that is the bathroom. And just like early String Brothers, typically they're on a raised foundation. So there's your air vent. And this bathroom is beautifully done. And these are my favorite kind of sinks. Very contemporary. I like these. And then even this, see, the vanity for the bath, it's raised off the ground. Kind of typical String mid-mod, which I like. Kind of gives a built-in feel. So when I walked in, that was the front door. We went hard left, which gives you 2 bedrooms and a bathroom. When you go right, I'll just go straight to the back of the house so you can kind of see what you get. That is a very typical Randy Parks mid-mod interior. See the kitchen? Kitchen doors, again, they've gone Shaker. And then where the refrigerator is, that would have been a pass-through. But we'll go down there. Someone's put a laundry room down there, which is a really good idea. What I have seen on these, as some of the people modify them in the roofs, they'll put skylights. This would be really cool. I would do, if it was my home, I'd do 4, 2 on this side, 2 on that side, to let a ton more light into this space. Not that it's hurting for light, you'll see in a minute when I turn around, but it would be kind of cool. And like I said, without refrigerators, that would have been passed through when this was originally built. And then down here, hard left. So to put a laundry room, access outside. This has like a carport and then an additional carport built onto the side. The one thing is, this is the 1950s, early 1950s, 53, 54-ish, when he started these. And the lot size is ridiculous. For back then, it was probably normal. But even now, when you're buying track home, modern builds, even, you know, track homes that were built in the 80s, they were cutting the lots half of this size. It is impressive. So we'll get to that as well. But here's what is behind me. I mean, the whole back of the house is a wall of glass. Not even strings were doing this much glass. It is just, it's phenomenal. It really is. I don't know why he made the switch, but he did. Joseph R. Cowden was started building at that time. Eichler was coming into town. Maybe he got nervous. I don't know. And he switched over to those mid-century homes with what we agents kind of refer to as kind of a, they weren't 2-story, but they did have a 3rd bedroom, up a flight of stairs by itself over the garage. Little funky, but I like them. I'd live in one. They were great. So this clearly has an addition put on, but whoever did this addition nailed it, because going to the corner, you can see it. They got it right. Beamed ceiling, big wall of glass. Behind it, not so that there used to be a pass-through for the kitchen. It's been sealed off by somebody else. But this is a nice big room. What's nice is where that pass-through is now, or was, the other side of that's the kitchen sink. You could probably turn this into a primary suite. Make a bath along this wall where I'm standing. And yeah, you have your own private patio from the primary straight out to the back garden. So you'd have a 3rd bedroom with its own bath. But it was something to consider. So yeah. But these houses have a ton of history as far as their place in mid-modern Sacramento. So I do love these Randy Parks, these very early homes of his. Granite countertops, like I said, I don't understand why. I would keep the frames and swap all these doors and put flat fronts on them. And then this, I would go with a, if I was going traditional, old school, I'd go Formica. But even some of these, there's a quartz product out there now that looks, from a distance, you think it's Formica. It's beautiful. But that's what I would do. Make it more mid-mod. Same with the fireplace. There's plenty of mid-mod options. But everyone has different tastes. But I see that a lot of shaker style in mid-mod here in California. And I don't understand it. But we're all, you know, we're all different. We all have different tastes. Wait till you see this back garden. It is unbelievable. For sheer size, you just don't get it at all. It makes up, as an agent, you know, when you see a house, 2-bed, 1 bath, oh, it's gonna be a difficult sale. Not with this backyard. This becomes an extension of the house. It is amazing. So enough yapping. Here we go. You ready? So you got hot tub, gazebo. Look at all that. We're gonna take a walk down there. Look at this. I love that hedge. But this is the back garden. It is something else. Looking at the timer on these videos of these smaller homes, it's like, wow, we're like done in a heartbeat. I have a house coming up that's like, I think it's almost 6,000 square feet. I'm actually worried about how I'm gonna film it and how much time I'll have or not have. But there we go. So I'm looking at keys because we're gonna go explore the shed. There's actually, technically, 4 sheds down the bottom of the garden. Yeah, that's how big this place is. And it doesn't feel crammed in. Shed number 1. We're gonna go in this shed, which is definitely, I wouldn't call it your traditional shed. It's a little more finished. And mid-mod, when you get outside of the United States, especially England, so my home, there was a group or a fashion trend called mods. And they wore a certain style of clothing, but what they also did, they rode a certain kind of motorcycle. And the sellers of this house are clearly fans. There's a whole movie called Quadrophenia. And you're either a Vesper fan or a Lambretta fan. Vespers were more common. Lambrettas, it was more the bike of the connoisseur. And there it is. And there's a couple of these tin types of Lambrettas all over this place. But this is a pretty cool workshop. It's if you go back a couple videos, he's kind of like, we've kind of nicknamed him. Actually, he was not my client, but we've sort of become in contact, texts, phone calls, just about mid-mod, how to decorate stuff, because they've since moved out of state. And I've actually got him saved in my phone as Bungee Cord Man, because if you remember his garage, his bungee cords were exact. And this workshop's not far behind that. You could tell, I'm not going to open any cabinets, but you could guarantee this is pretty well organized. If you asked blindly where something was, it'd be, fourth drawer down, third over in the back. I'm sure they know. But it's a great, great little workshop. So what we're going to do is, I told you, right? So this is kind of like the main shed, man cave, whatever you want to call it, workshop. That's probably used for storage. But believe it or not, when you come across the front of the sheds, okay, and there's another view I'm going to show as I just walked on it and caught now. Anyway, we're on the other side of the shed. We've got some vegetable patches. We've got, as you know, I've talked about I have a green thumb. That is probably my favorite garden climbing plant, morning glory. And this is why I like them. They have this just absolutely just gorgeous. And in the mornings, these all pop out. So typically you plant those on a north-south facing, so the sun goes east-west over the top. They love shade. And the flowers just pop out as they get a little kiss of sunlight. And they're beautiful. See, shed 3, shed 4. I don't even know what's in them. It's like, wow. And then clearly, we got some overgrowth. But I like it. I love that stuff. And there's a wash sink back here. Clearly composting, which I love. Very jealous of that with my green thumb. But look at this view. This is why this view, I love this view. This is why we buy mid-mods. This is why I like mid-mods. Cliff May is considered, sort of the grandfather of the California home. This is what they all look like. Look at that. It is just so beautiful back here. There's a water fountain over there, which you might be able to hear. It's surreal. It's just, I don't know. It's beautiful. I can sit back here all day. I've been a bit of a rush because there's some agents coming in with an appointment. But we've got neighbor's little dog. But look at this. I mean, who wouldn't live here? It is gorgeous and peaceful. It's absolutely beautiful. And you got those just mature flower beds all over the darn place. It's fantastic. So yeah, this is actually a pretty short video. I've really enjoyed this property. There's plenty to undo, but nothing that's financially terrible. You could do it while you live here and take it really back to how Reindeer Parks intended it to be. So yeah, Scott Kline, he's the listing agent. Thank you. I can't thank you enough. This is quite the little find. There's a little squirrel run across in front of me. Love it. So thank you. So anyway, be good to each other, humans. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to watch my videos. I enjoy it. So thank you. Once again, your host, Alister, the Modern Modernist. Be good to each other, humans. Bye-bye.